only three reasons why you have a really good product and yet nobody's buying from you. The first one is most likely going to be 80% of you guys, which is they have no idea who you are, right? Second one is your price. Probably your pricing is not quite right. And then the third one is place where you sell your product. In this video, I'm going to explain to you how all these things affect your business and how to fix it. Why should you listen to me? Like, who the hell am I? I spent 5 years working with business owners across Nigeria, helping them scale from 0 to 5 million naira every single month in their business. And I've decided to share every single thing I know so that you can replicate that in your own business. And the reason I'm doing that is because I believe every single business owner in Nigeria should have the information and the right tools to grow their business to at least start. Right? It's sad that a lot of business owners, a lot of businesses in Nigeria are not even making up to 1 million every single month. Going from 0 to 5 million, it should be like the starting point. What we found is that most of the times that's probably like the end goal of businesses. So I'm sharing every single thing I know. I'm giving it out for free so that you can replicate it in your business and help yourself grow. And probably one day you'll thank me for it. Having said that, let's get back to the video. So I have my notes here just to be as accurate as possible. Number one thing to mention is they probably don't know you. 90% of business owners, they usually think, okay, if I have a very good product, I'll probably, be successful. And that's very wrong. You have to understand that there are two sides to growing any business, right? We have the product and then we have the distribution. So having the product is not enough. You also have to be able to distribute that product. And this is especially true for, businesses that have to do with, handwork. So in Nigeria, we know that predominantly we have people that are learning how to, do handiwork, learn how to barb, learn how to make hair, learn how to, do wigs, fix nails, all sorts of things, right? And they turn that into a business. But they see that as like the product they have or the service they have to render, and they think that's enough. Because I'm good at this thing, I should be able to get customers. And it's not usually true, right? So yes, you've gotten the product, then the distribution is the next thing. How then do you distribute? Distribution to its core, it's very simple. It's just attention and fulfillment, right? So what's attention? And we'll probably say attention is basically trying to get your product to as many eyes as you possibly can, right? Wrong. Attention has to be tailored. It has to be tailored to a particular audience. It has to be tailored to the specific group of people that need what you sell. What that means is getting your product to as many eyes as possible should not be the goal. The goal should be getting your product to as many eyes as possible that falls under your target audience. I'm going to break this down into like pieces. So your target audience basically means people that need what you sell or people that need the service you render. Most of the times, people try to just do general, I will call it general advertising. You're just trying to push your product out there, shouting it at the top of your roof. And then you feel like you're doing a lot. You're not really doing a lot. You're basically wasting your time. Because if you dangle attention on the wrong audience, nothing is going to happen. So let's take an example. So for example, it would be extremely foolish for you to try to sell a wheelchair to someone that can walk. If you sell a wheelchair and you want to sell it to me, right, that's going to be very unserious of you, right? So you have to sell your wheelchair to someone that probably needs it. So the attention of that product should be tailored to the audience that needs that product, should be tailored to the pain points of the audience that needs that product as well. The question now becomes, how do you get attention? Because as we mentioned attention, so how then do we get attention? So there are only two ways to do that, right? That's putting out content and then running paid ads. Obviously, creating content will cost you time. However, running paid ads will cost you money. So you have to, find the trade-off. There's no two way about it. It's either you have like a lot of time that you can put into content to get that attention, or you have a lot of money that you can put into paid ads, to get that attention. Creating content will take you a lot of time, right, to do. Even though you decide to, go the paid ads route, it's always very important to try as much as possible to create a lot of content for your business. Make it a part of your business process. However, if you have the capital, I advise you to run ads as well. You have to understand that you're in the game of business, right? You're putting in something to get, something. The only thing is you try and get like probably 5 times or 10 times more or 100 times more than what you're putting in. So if you are really good at, running ads, or you probably have somebody that is really good at, running paid ads, and then you give them X amount of money and they provide like 10 times return. That's like profit for your business. And that's how business should be run, right? You are putting in something to like get a better return. You know that these platforms have their ad network where you can set things like the audience you are trying to reach. You can set things like the budget you are trying to, put in place. So all those things are already there. And so when your ads, they go live, they are going directly to the particular audience you've selected as, your target audience. And so the ads become effective right off the bat. Content is a different game because you create a content and you press post. You are not going to tell Instagram is not going to give you an option to select who you want to, the audience you want to push your content to. They're just pushing your content, and then the algorithm now does its work. Depending on how good your content is, it finds the right people and then pushes it to them. Simple. There are a lot of intricacies when it comes to customer acquisition through content creation and ads, and I'll probably have to create another video for that to go deeper. But that's that on the first one, getting people to know you. Number two is price. So when it comes to price, there are two things we have to look at. We know that there's service as a product, that's rendering your service as like the product, and there's product as a product, that's rendering like physical goods. Probably you sell something that you can touch. Let's touch on service as a product. Service as a product is influenced by two things. Number one is the reputation of the person selling the service, and number two is the person you are selling to. Let's assume you have two designers. We have designer A and we have designer B. So designer A is a very, very good designer with 10 years of experience, 500k followers, probably have like testimonials and proof. And we have designer B, say 2 years of experience, has like 0 followers, and maybe have 1 or 2 proof. And now designer A charges 500k for a design. Designer B also charges 500k for a design. Who do you think is most likely to get more customers? It's obviously going to be designer A. And the reason is very, very simple, right? Is because designer A have the experience, has the proof, has the audience as well, which is basically the attention. So I'm explaining how all these things tie to each other, how attention ties to price, and I'll explain how price also ties to place. The reason why you as a business owner, you're probably not, getting your product sold, or you're probably not selling as much as you think you would, might also boil down to price. But you don't have attention that you require to sell at that price point. You probably don't have the proof or the testimonial you require to sell at that price point. You probably don't have the experience or the network to sell at that price point. And so before you increase your price, because a lot of gurus out there tell you to increase your prices, but you don't just increase your price all of a sudden, right? There has to be some sort of value to price discrepancy that is obvious to the person you are selling to. So even though your price is a high ticket price, the person you are selling to has to see the value for that price you are putting your product or your service at. If they don't see that, they are not going to make any payments. Your price will just be there and then you don't have any customers. And so that brings us to the next one, which is the people you are selling to. The first one to mention is the reputation of the person selling, which is you. Now the second one is who you are selling to. We can divide the audience into two. So we can say we have HNIs and we have LNIs. I'm not trying to sound like a guru. And HNI stands for high net worth individual. LNI basically stands for low net worth individual. If designer A, for example, want to sell their product, right, and they are selling their product to an HNI, right, it will probably be easier to sell because they have the money, right? If designer B now try to poach an HNI, they will not be able to get it. It's because they don't have the proof, they don't have the status that designer A have. That's where most business owners find themselves. And so this now poses a problem to the designer B. That's the person that is trying to give like a high ticket price when they don't have the backing. On the flip side, because they are charging that high, even the middle class people and the poor people cannot afford them. So what that means is like the people that would otherwise be your natural customer at the point where you are at as a business owner, like the middle class that can probably afford 30k or 50k for a design, but because you're charging 500k, right, they are not going to call you, they are not going to buy your product, they are not going to get your service, and then you are left stranded because you are in a point where you don't have enough proof, you don't have enough traction, you don't have enough network to sell to the rich people, but yet you don't want to bring down your prices to sell to the guys that can afford you at that point. And now, me, I'm not preaching that you should reduce your prices. What me I'm saying is, if you are going to charge a high ticket offer, you might as well deliver the value for that price. So what I always tell business owners is that, okay, yes, increase your price, but before you do that, try and increase the surrounding value around your product or your service, so that when you mention your price, it's easy to sell. So that's that about price. Now, there are a lot of intricacies when it comes to price. We have fulfillment, we have proof, we have guarantees, we have the offer. So there are a lot of things that come into giving a very good price. Your price does not have to be low. I'm a big fan of not reducing your price. If you go check my tweet out there, I'm always saying it. Competing based on price will make you go broke, right? So we should always compete based on value. And see, if you can offer so much value, you can 10x your price as long as you can match it with the value. You understand? And then the last thing is place. The best place to probably sell water would most likely be in the desert. Why? Because anybody walking through this desert would be tasty and will be dry. But people don't do that. And the reason is simple, because there are not a lot of people just strolling in the desert. I say that to say this. There is a connection between attention, connection between price, and there's a connection between place. So attention, price, and place are interconnected. The sad truth is that a lot of business owners are selling in deserts. They're selling their products in places where their customers don't show up. They're selling their products in places where the need for their product is not significant. The amount of business owners that fall into this category is extremely slim right now because of social media. Right now, you can be in a cave and you can still sell your product because of attention and every other thing in between. For those that still fall under that category, check your place, check where you are, check what you sell, and see if you are the right place for the product you are selling. I said before that if you sell hiking shoes, I think I made a content about that. If you sell hiking shoes, the best place to probably sell your shoes will probably be like at the foot of a hill, because people are going to hike. If you are selling hiking shoes and then you go to a quiet estate where nothing goes about, you probably not sell as much. So those are the number one reason why you have a very, very good product and then nobody's still buying from you. So I want you to go into your business and check your systems and check every single thing that you do and try and close those gaps. And once you do that, you will see immediate results. If you've watched the video through to this point, I want to thank you. And I want you to hit the subscribe button. Also do me a favor to share this video to as many business owners as possible out there. I'm trying to get this message out to business owners across Nigeria, probably across Africa as well. And I'm doing it absolutely free. Like I mentioned, I'm basically sharing every single thing I've learned working with businesses for the past 5 years. I'm sharing my system, my process, my knowledge, practical examples that you can put into your business and replicate those results. Going from 0 to 5 million every single month is something that every business owner should be able to do, as long as you are doing the right things. So if you've not already done that, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos as many people as you possibly can. I'm always rooting for you, and I'll see you at the top. Peace out.